you realize that the possibility for healing in your body is way greater than you have ever been taught. And I am living this right now. I am documenting healing of my hair. I'm documenting healing of my skin. I'm documenting healing of my teeth. I'm documenting healing that is happening in my body. Real quick disclaimer, my spiritual family, before we get into the video. I have just woken up, but I woke up with extreme inspiration to finally get this video done, and I could not waste this opportunity. So excuse me if my thoughts are a little scrambled, if I look a little tired. I honestly just had to get this video out now. I felt it deep in my soul that I had to do this now. Otherwise, it could have took God knows how long. So with that disclaimer out the way, I love you so much. Let's get right into the video. Much love. So regarding the subject, hold on, get this face tracking popping. Now, regarding the subject of wet dreams, you have to understand that you don't have wet dreams. You don't ejaculate because you have wet dreams. You have wet dreams because you ejaculate. I know a lot of people are going to think like, man, what is this man talking about? The video just started. He already talking about some nonsense. But allow me to explain. You see, your thoughts are just a result, right, of what's going on inside of your body. I know that might be hard for a lot of people to digest, or hard for people to understand, but we are built from the bottom up. We are not built from the top down. Your brain is more so a radio. It's more so over a receiver. So a lot of times when you think you're thinking, you're actually just listening. And the brain's job is to just take in information and to convert it in a way that consciousness can understand, that your consciousness can understand. With that being said, your brain is responding to the feelings that your body is sending it. If your body is sending your brain bad feelings all the time, you're going to be somebody who's generating lower dimensional thoughts. If your body is sending feelings of love and happiness and peace to your brain all the time, you're going to be somebody who is generating positive thoughts, higher dimensional thoughts, deeper thoughts. You're going to be getting deeper insights. You're going to be open to more possibilities. That's how it works. When the stem is healthy, the flower buds. When the stem is not healthy, when the root is not healthy, the flower wilts. So you're forced to have a closed mind when your body isn't healthy. You're forced to be stressed, because stress is tension. Stress means closing. Happiness, peace, serenity means opening, relaxation. It means basically blossoming. So now that I got that concept down, and now that I've expressed that concept, I'd like you to understand whatever is going on in your body, your brain's just going to translate it. The same way whatever's going on with the radio waves in the air, when you turn on your radio is just going to translate those radio waves. So I know a lot of us have had that experience where our alarm clock was going off in real life, but our brain made the dream. It made it in our dream. All right. So sometimes you're like, you miss your alarm because in your dream an alarm went off and you just assumed it was part of the dream and you kept dreaming. Now, did your alarm go off because you were dreaming that your alarm went off, or were you dreaming that your alarm went off because your alarm went off in reality? It's the same thing as far as wet dreams. Your body is about to ejaculate, and it does ejaculate, and your brain just translates it. It translates the feelings, and the reason that it becomes a wet dream for most is because it all depends on whatever programming you've done in your mind, whatever programming you've gave your mind to associate with the feeling of ejaculation. That's the image and the conscious interpretation that your brain will generate in response to those feelings. So if it's a very perverted, grotesque wet dream, it's because you've associated extreme perversion and grotesque images with that feeling of ejaculation. Now, that's just the mental aspect of it. I want to talk about why the body actually releases your energy nocturnally. The real reason that this is going on is because if anybody has had that experience where you could take a bottle, like a water bottle, and say that water bottle was kind of squeezed and kind of constricted, right? Say you filled it up with steaming hot water just halfway, and then you put the lid on it, you could see that the steam would open the bottle, it would inflate the bottle, right? Everyone should know, if you don't know, that hot air causes expansion. It causes energy to expand, and hot air wants to go up, cold air wants to go down, okay? Hot heat wants to go up, cold wants to go down. It doesn't have to even be air, just that's how the temperatures work. So what happens is, again, if you refer back to my video of 100 days of the significance of semen retention, you'll remember that I said Sexual energy is just heat. That's why they say animals are in heat when they want to mate or reproduce. Or even us, when we're feeling extremely sexual, it's because there's a lot of heat down there. And that heat, that feeling of wanting to release is your body signaling to your brain, there's a lot of heat down here and it has nowhere to go. So I need to get it out. I need it to go out. You're feeling the pressure, the expansion of the heat. Now, what people don't know is that heat could go two ways. It could go up or it can go out, which is technically down. It can go up to heaven or it can go down to hell. So what I'm trying to say is the doorway that leads up into our higher chakras, into the rest of our body, that doorway has been layered and caked with years of food waste, plaque, mucus, stress, like tension and constriction of your muscles. We have to understand that we're constricting muscles right now at this moment that we have no idea we're doing it, because we've been doing it for so long. We have no idea that we're holding muscles natural, like they're involuntarily being held because they've been constricted for so long that it's programmed in your brain to as soon as you wake up, as soon as your conscious mind comes back into action, those muscles immediately constrict and they stay like that until you go to sleep. This is why sleep is such a release for a lot of people, because they don't understand that not only are they giving their brain a release, but they're literally releasing muscles inside of themselves that they are always constricting and have no idea that they're doing that. Coming back from my tangent, you have so much filth blocking the doorways for that energy to channel upwards that energy has no choice but to go out through your penis, through your dick. That's why you have wet dreams. It's a buildup of heat, and dependent on your tolerance, your capacity to hold this heat, you're gonna pop. Now, some people who haven't necessarily destroyed the root chakra in the way that we have, whether it be they didn't participate in sexual behaviors, is extremely genetics. Genetics don't make or break you. Anybody can ascend their own genetics, but they do give us our founding template. They do give us our foundation. So some people may have really good genetics and they may not have reacted to food in the way that everyone else has, or reacted to stress in the way that everyone else had, and they might naturally transmute that energy. I see very few, but I see some people be like, I've never had a wet dream. Congratulations and bravo to you, brother. That means that you have a very healthy root chakra. So for us, because I used to have wet dreams, I've completely transcended them. I am at 111 days. Absolutely no wet dreams. This is my first streak with no wet dreams, and this is why I feel like it's perfect for me to make this video, because I have actually transcended wet dreams. I've transcended wet dreams while I'm in a relationship, which I think is very significant, because if you're going to have a wet dream, right? If we have wet dreams on our own, imagine being in a relationship, a very sexually active relationship that you're not ejaculating in. You go to bed next to the woman that you are now associating with those sexual feelings, and you might go to bed naked, or go to bed right after making love to each other with those images and those feelings still fresh on your mind. So how did I transcend wet dreams? I simply used the most basic form of sexual energy transmutation. This is for guys, even with the good genetics, because your body might be slowly transmuting enough energy for you to not ejaculate, for that pressure to not get to a point where you feel like you're gonna pop. But everyone needs to be doing this. And a lot of you are gonna be upset with what I say because it's so simple. I know you've heard it before, but it's not given quite the respect that it needs. The most basic form, the most basic and required form for all human beings, not just men who are practicing semen retention, of sexual energy transmutation is constricting the muscles of your pelvic floor. What do I mean by that? I'm speaking of the muscles that you contract when you're trying to stop yourself from releasing urine or fecal matter. Now, I have incorrectly told some of my subscribers that you need to put more emphasis on constricting the muscles that stop yourself from defecating, from shitting. But due to more experimentation, I have realized that the muscle that is very important that will transmute that sexual energy faster is the muscle that you actually use to stop yourself from urinating. You want to constrict both, because it's really just one big muscle. They might feel separate, but it's just one big muscle, right? You want to constrict both, but you want to put most of your focus, most of your effort, most of your attention on the muscle you use to stop yourself from urinating. I cannot stress enough how much respect this technique must be given. I'm sure a lot of you have done it, but how long did you really do it? How long did you really try? When you go to the gym, people go to this is why it's so important. People go to the gym and they will give their all to bench press whatever they're lifting, or to run on that treadmill, or to, even do dumbbell curls. When they go in the gym, they give their all. But when somebody suggests something as simple as constricting a muscle that you may deem unnecessary, a muscle that you think has nothing to do with anything, but you don't give it that same respect. I need for all of my followers to squeeze this muscle like they're in the gym giving their all. I need you guys to squeeze it for as long as you can. You can pump it, flex it. I recommend squeezing it and holding it for as long as you can. That has shown the best results for me and the fastest results for me. I don't recommend just doing this, although activating that muscle technically is activating your root chakra. You got to understand, all your root chakra is basically a lake of energy. Your root chakra is a lake of all the energy that your body. See, I'm about to go off on a tangent, but we all need this information. Your body has two forms of energy that it can work with. You can use the energy that is immediately available from food, which is usually sugar. I know we've heard of the process of ATP, but we have only been taught about that form of energy, and then obviously we have been informed about how your body can burn fats and how your brain likes to burn fats, but we haven't been taught about spiritual energy and how there's a form of energy that our body wants to use over anything. That energy, right, takes longer to manifest, because you have to think spiritual energy is the purest form of energy. That's why it takes so long for semen to be made, because your body has to strip all of the toxins and all of the negative qualities of the food that you consume, and and all of the energy outlets or inlets that you have, whether it be just breathing, getting sunlight, drinking water. That energy has to go through a process where it's refined, and at the end of that refining process, you have semen, or for women, you have their sexual fluids. This refined energy is what your body truly wants to operate on. This refined energy carries cells that have your original genetic information. Think about it this way. If you got a cell up in your shoulder blade, or a cell in your heart or your lung that won't heal itself, right? This is what really happens. They say death and aging occurs. This is going to be some heavy information. They say death and aging occurs because the cell forgets its structure. It forgets what it's supposed to be. So it basically just dies. And slowly, this is how we die. What if your cell never forgot what it was? What if the nucleus of our bodies, because our body is just one big cell, what if that nucleus stayed intact? And the nucleus was always able to share that genetic information with the rest of the body, so the rest of the body would never forget what it was. Well, if you think about it, what part of our body, besides, I know a lot of people are going to say our DNA, but it goes deeper than that. What part of our body carries our genetic information? Our sexual organs, our sex cells. But science right now has not revealed to the public, or hasn't even discovered it itself, that our body can use its own sexual energy, sex cells, to replace and to rebuild its own cells, its own biology. Because if you think about the fact that semen and eggs are able to transform into heart tissue, brain tissue, nerve tissue, bone tissue, stem cells, you realize that the possibility for healing in your body is way greater than you have ever been taught. And I am living this right now. I am documenting healing of my hair. I'm documenting healing of my skin. I'm documenting healing of my teeth. I'm documenting healing that is happening in my body ever since that I have retained my energy, two, started contracting. Because the reason that it's so important for you to contract that muscle is because of years of masturbation and years of destroying the connection of your root chakra to the rest of your body. What happens is we have gravity working on us, constantly trying to pull us down, right? On top of gravity and the pressure from food and all of the masturbation of, because once you constantly use those muscles, eventually they get loose. They get loose because they're being overworked. So eventually they get loose. They lose their consciousness. You lose the consciousness down there, and they get loose. And what happens is your root chakra wants to be connected to your spine, right? But when after years of destroying that chakra's kind of just hanging. So all of these years, you've had massive amounts of potential, your own development, your physical development. A lot of us who have it, and I'm also, my development is increasing. I'm getting more hair underneath my chin than I've ever had. This is why a lot of men start to notice them getting more facial hair and getting healthier skin and healthier everything. It's because your body is finally having access to the energy. It's so funny how they got us. They got us so fucked up, but it's so simple. It's so simple. They have us so ignorant. That's what we're really suffering from. We're not suffering from anything but ignorance. It's as simple as constricting that muscle. And when you constrict that muscle as hard as you can, there's a up. You pull the muscle up. When you pull that muscle up, now there's a connection. It's like a spark plug. There's a connection between your spine and your root chakra. Now that connection is there. And when that connection is made, the energy will begin to flow and heal everything along the way. You have a channel specifically in your spine for this energy. I know you haven't been taught that, but I'm teaching that to you right now. You have a channel to channel this energy into the rest of your body, to activate your body, to activate your chakras. The chakras are just massive points along your nervous system. We need to heal our nervous system and get our sensitivity back, right? When you constrict this muscle, when you constrict these muscles, the root chakra makes connection with the sacral chakra. And the energy is now able to go up to your spine. And the energy can now begin healing your body. But you have to do this. You have to discipline yourself. You have to understand you have been standing up straight, which gravity works harder on humans because we stand up straight as opposed to animals. I want to let you know real quick, disclaimer, all of this information has been brought to us through my man Master of Earth and other sources, but I always give the love to Master of Earth because he's the reason I'm even on this spiritual journey. He's the reason that I even want to teach these things, because I believe this man has brought this information in a way that's going to change the world. And I feel like I'm here to just take his information and make it more digestible for the masses. But what I'm trying to, and I'm living this, but what I'm trying to say is you can heal yourself of anything. It's going to take years though. I don't mean to like shit on anybody's parade, but you're not going to get a spiritual awakening or ascending or healing from herbs. Even though these things can help you, you're not just going to be given a spiritual awakening or healing like that. You have to understand you have destroyed your body for years. You're going to have to pay that back through work, through actual work. And it starts with developing this muscle. This muscle is the root chakra. If you want strong roots so your flower can bloom, so your flower can, open up, you have to strengthen those roots. And I'm telling you, this muscle, the pelvic floor, the Kegel muscle, is the manifestation. Every chakra has a physical manifestation. The physical manifestation of your root chakra and your sacral chakra is your genitals and your pelvic floor muscles. And this is how you unite the two. They say the sacral chakra is where the sexual energies, the healing energies, the Kundalini energy takes expression. For that energy to express itself, you have to connect these two chakras. You have to connect your root chakra with the rest of your body. You do this by constricting your pelvic floor. How long do you do this? I recommend literally squeezing this muscle as long as you can. You'll be able to see how easily society gets you distracted, because now you'll realize why society is always distracting you with commercials, with signs on the road, with people all the time talking to you, wanting to hit you up. All of these distractions are to keep you out of your head, to keep you out of your mind. As soon as you think, you lose your mind. Literally, once you start to think, you're losing your mind. Animals are in the present moment. They don't think, they just do. We have lost the ability to just do. We're stuck in the thinking realm because of the programming and because of the state of our bodies. Our body is constantly sending messages of stress to our brain, so we're forced to think all the time. But what about a world? Did anyone ever tell you about the possibility of being able to exist without thought? Being able to witness something without projecting, oh, I know that's a tree because I know what trees are and I know that I got taught that was a tree. What if you could experience something for the very first time every time you see it? What if you could witness without thinking, exist without thought? That is the goal of spirituality. Enlightenment. You want the light to enter your mental. The light, either sunlight, you want sunlight to be absorbed into your mental, or you want the light of your sexual energy. That's the inside outside. You have the sun, you have sunlight, or you have the light of your sexual energy. We have to get that light to enter our mental. That's what enlightenment means. Heavy is the head. Lighten your mental. You lighten your mental by sending this energy up. The lighter your head is, the lighter you feel. That's why children are always on the move. They always want to move their bodies. They can't sit down because their body is so light. It's so charged with energy. It's constantly going up. It constantly pulls them up into action. What happened to us as adults? The energy has reversed now. Gravity, food, mucus plaque, all of the things that we do that destroy ourselves have made this energy go down. So now your body is heavy as the head. Your body always wants to be down. You don't want to move. You want to be lazy. You want to be doing as least movement as possible. And depending on how bad the system corrupted you, everyone's locked in a energy cycle. People who get shit done, who achieve their dreams, who make shit happen, they're locked in an energy cycle that isn't quite as lazy as the person who isn't manifesting any of their dreams. But what I'm trying to say is fuck whatever energy cycle you've been locked in. I'm trying to tell us we can all ascend to the energy cycle that we need to be in to actively accomplish our dreams. And you do this with sexual energy transmutation, and it starts with strengthening the root chakra. I need everyone watching this video to squeeze this muscle. This is just one version of sexual energy transmutation. I need everyone watching this video to squeeze this muscle for as long as you can. Why do you think when you have to go to the bathroom and you start squeezing, you start to feel that energy, that excitement? You're feeling the energy. You're literally feeling that electricity start to come up your body. You're really starting to feel that kundalini come up through your body. You need to hold this muscle for hours if you can. Start off slow, obviously, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm getting excited, so excuse me for just being so excited, but you have to, when you squeeze this muscle, you can feel it. I guarantee you, if you squeeze this muscle for 15 minutes for as hard as you can, you will start to feel it. I guarantee you, if you are laying on the floor right now and you tell yourself you have to get up and do something and you squeeze this muscle as hard as you can, your body will get yourself up. Whether your brain wants to do it or not, your body will get up. We have to understand our body has its own intelligence. This intelligence has been unplugged. So now the head is carrying all the weight of the body when it's supposed to be a companionship. The body and the head work together. The body is what facilitates movement. The head facilitates instructions. But they've changed the game to where the head is facilitating everything. But we have to understand this brain came here empty. So this brain can only facilitate based on how it's been taught. But the body, your genetic code was already written by God. God already knows the best way for you to do what you want to do, the best way for you to move, the best way for this body to function. But if they unplug that intelligence from us, we will always have to move from the programmed intelligence. And the programmed intelligence is limited. The instinctual intelligence is how we really are supposed to be using our bodies. And you have to get the sexual energy back up to the brain. You have to re-plug in your brain. You have to reconnect your brain with your body to activate your subconscious intelligence. Subconscious, below the conscious, below the brain. Your subconscious mind is literally your whole entire body. That's the subconscious mind. You activate your subconscious mind and you make it conscious by reuniting your brain and your body. That's what happened to everyone. That's why no one is happy anymore. That's why we don't live in that magical world that we lived in as children anymore, because our subconscious mind and our conscious minds have been separated. And I believe it's my job and everyone else out there promoting spiritual work and healing to teach you how to reconnect your conscious mind with your subconscious mind. This is the true spiritual awakening. And it starts with sexual energy transmutation. I need you guys to squeeze that muscle as hard as you can for as long as you can. And I want you guys to experiment with this and try your hardest, and I guarantee you it will yield results. Do not just Kegel for 30 minutes one day and say, oh, it never worked. It's going to take work, especially if your root chakra is very damaged. You might not feel it right away, but the stronger you make this muscle, remember what I told you, the stronger you make the root, the stronger you make everything. It'll get to a point where you reconnect that muscle's so reconnected now, the energy's naturally transmutating. That muscle's so strong, you don't even got to squeeze it now. It'll stay there. It'll stay there on its own. And now your body will always be healing, always transmuting energy. That's where you want to get. You want to get to the point where your body is doing these things subconsciously for you and you don't have to do it anymore. But because we consciously destroyed ourselves, we have to consciously reconnect ourselves. You owe it to your body. You owe it to your genitals. You owe it to your spirit. You owe it to your soul. You owe it to God. You owe it to this planet to heal yourself and to put the work in. I love you so much. buddhaxan. I hope this video has brought extreme and great clarity to everyone that's viewing this video. I love you so much. And until next time, I love you guys. Peace out.